Based Anna.
I just look, we've been over this. I think that you have this itch to fight, right? And I think that I hear what you're saying about wanting to fight back against the bigotry, right? But I think that sometimes the way that you communicate within that fight accuses people who don't really fall under that category of.
Oh, they're about to throw down. Is this about calling everybody like a racist or a fascist or whatever? Is that what I'm...
Of being part of the bad guys who have bought into the bigotry and stuff. I think that the situation is just a lot more complicated than that. And the way that I've been thinking about all of this is, how do we bring more people in rather than repel people from what we're trying to accomplish, right? And so the messaging, I think we need to be a little more careful with, so we don't make people who do not subscribe to the bigotry feel as though we're accusing them of engaging in bigotry. You hear what I'm saying?
I do, but so it...
What do you think his response is going to be?
You're absolutely right. Like, sowing division amongst democracy is probably bad in the aftermath. Like, we all want to get Biden elected or make sure that Trump isn't elected again. So let's all unite for the cause.
Oh, you're so naive. Oh my God, that was adorable. Okay. You've just been watching my stream a lot, so you think everybody's like reasonably, rationally brained like I am. Let's see what he says. He started off with a but, so you're already fighting from the back foot. Let's see here.
Feel as though we're accusing them of engaging in bigotry. You hear what I'm saying?
I do, but so it's that one's super complicated. We've talked about it a little bit in the past, but it's good to talk about here. And by the way, we'll take your comments too on your thoughts on all of this. But
and look, the one, I'm sorry to interrupt you.
No,
but
it's
like
okay.
The one other thing that look, part of the change that I've experienced over the last, I don't know, year, 2 years is coming to the realization that a lot of the stories that scared me about the bigotry in the country, right? Like the very specific anecdotes and stories that have been reported in the media were either embellished, exaggerated, actually completely unfounded, all sorts of crazy hoaxes.
That's a big problem with left-leaning media right now. Getting a lot of half-reported stories.
You know,
He's about to.
Oh, there's a story we didn't get to today, but I'm definitely going to cover it at some point this week about Ibram X. Kendi's Center for what is it called? It's the Center for Anti-Racist Research, which had received
43 million. That's what you're about to say.
$43 million in grants.
Million.
And no one knows where that money is. The entire staff has gotten fired.
Where did it go? Where did it go?
Don't ask me.
That's a lot of money for anti-racism. Whoa.
Okay, there's no transparency in regard to where that funding went. And it's just, I think a lot of people see how potentially, I don't know for sure in this case, I think there needs to be a full investigation, how certain people have used this narrative of racism in order to profit from it and to exploit it for their own benefit. And
damn. Oh, that's a big claim from Anna from the Young Turks. Do you want to come to New York? I'll buy you a steak. Pisco. I'm like an hour drive from you, okay?
Enrichment, right?
So what we do here is we talk about all the different nuances, because that one has a lot of nuance.
It does, yep.
So first of all, that story we'll do on another day so you get the full sense of it. But is it true that some people took advantage of the racism that actually exists to profit off of pretending to fight back against it? Unfortunately, yes, it has happened a number of times, okay? So there was devastating articles about Black Lives Matter leadership as one example. Okay, now.
Did you follow any of them, the Black Lives Matter organization?
I don't know what you're talking about.
BLM org was pretty,
Wasn't around.
Oh, okay. They were in dire straits. Yeah, it was pretty bad.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Sounds it.
Yeah.
And we covered it because we're honest.
Right.
But having said that, it doesn't mean that there isn't racism and bigotry.
There is.
There is.
But I have to be honest, given all of the lies that I've read.
The problem is that the way that people do politics today is there's like a whole web of beliefs you have to buy into. And like part of that web, for instance, is like black people can do no wrong. Or if they do wrong, it's because of white supremacy. unironically, that's like part of the. That's why you get like all the excuses for shoplifting. That's why when black cops kill black people, it's white supremacy. Like it's like part of this web of beliefs you have to subscribe to. Homeless people can do no wrong. Like they're harmless, they're cool. If they push people in front of trains, like this is like the web of. It sounds like I'm exaggerating, but I'm not. It's literally this. But the issue is that like if you call into question or if you call into question any of the narratives on any of this, people will immediately throw you into like the conservative camp. So like Anna has caught a ton of basically people think Anna is like a literal Nazi now, unironically, or fascist, whatever, because she started to realize like, hey, I basically got like about like a homeless guy, and people are like, oh well, the homeless are they're unhoused
How
neighbors.
can you be talking about Nuance though if like half the audience thinks then that she's like a Nazi?
I don't know, but like the Young Turks is.
Wouldn't there be like some good faith given to someone who's sitting like right beside him on a platform they share?
You'd think so, wouldn't you? Oh, that's so. Oh, that's so nice that you think that. That's so nice. You're so.
Kill you.
You're so optimistic. What do they call them? Is it starry-eyed?
Yeah.
You would think that sitting on a show called The Young Turks, where they've done progressive media for 10 plus years, that they would get a little bit more leeway, right?
Maybe not.
You know my good friend Vosh, right?
Yeah.
He had his first standout month last month.
You guys are gonna have a big hug this week.
Yeah, true. He had his first standout month last month, finally. This month.
You're so mean.
Do you know why? Because he spent half the month on Anna for being a Nazi. That's, yeah.
If it gets clicks.
It's not even funny. There's no joke there. It's not even funny at all. Stop.
Okay.
Realize the media has been telling about it. I don't know the extent to which it does exist. I'm not saying it doesn't.
The sad thing about Anna right now is like Anna is so precious and important because what usually happens is when people see that parts of the media lie, like part of the left-wing media can lie, which I don't know if I'd say lie, but they get some things very, very, very wrong. So like, are you familiar with the Jacob Blake stuff?
Oh, vaguely. He was in the car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The cops are almost certainly on the right, but the initial video that came out looked really bad. It looked like a poor black guy trying to get in the car and a cop him back 5 times. Like it's horrible. That probably set off the Kenosha. That definitely set off the Kenosha riots, led to Rittenhouse and all that, right? But like when you start to see stories like that line up, what people will do is they'll go like, "Oh, I can't trust that media anymore. I'm going to be a conservative now." But Anna's not. She's still progressive, right? It's like she's probably farther left than me on a lot of things. You probably argue over. But the problem is that she can't even edge out like this little bit of nuance, and I'm worried. The worry is going to be people keep saying she's a Nazi, she's a liberal, she's not left anymore, blah blah blah. Is the thing that would suck is if eventually that did happen, like in a self-fulfilling kind of way, because she's been pushed so far that she's like, okay, well, I am, right? That's what people keep accusing me of, like I'm going to be a Republican in 1 year, or whatever. People have been saying that about me for like 4 years, you know? But farther left than you literally wanted people to be protesters. Peace go.
But sometimes I worry that the media, in an effort to sell papers and in an effort to get eyeballs watching their programming, intentionally sensationalize and exaggerate the extent to which it exists in American society. It leads to more division. It leads to more people hating each other and being paranoid about various groups of people.
What?
Doesn't seem like a very confrontational claim. I feel like most people would agree with that.
No, not on the progressive side. I don't think so.
I'm progressive.
The easiest way to like get a progressive on this is like it's like the standard question of like how many unarmed black people do you think are killed every year by the cops? Do you have any idea what the answer to that question
All
is?
of them.
Take a guess. Do you know?
All of them.
Take a guess.
I don't know.
Okay.
What's the answer?
It's like 17.
Okay.
But people think the answer's in like the hundreds or thousands. But it's because of like the media reporting on things that it like blows a lot of issues out of control. So even if there is a problem, people have a bad grasp of how bad the problem is, which leads them to have a bad understanding of like how to solve the problem, right? That's where all the cringe like defund the police came and went in like a year because every police department that tried it was like a disaster. I was like, this is yeah. All right, hold on.
People, I think it's sick. And so I hate that this is happening, and I hate that I've come to this realization, and it's based on actual evidence and in-depth reporting on it, because I don't know what to believe because I don't trust the media. You get what I'm saying?
I do, but again, both things can be true at the same time. Let me give you an example of what I mentioned on Karen Hunter's show. She's on SiriusXM Urban View. Rashad Rushiar, one of our hosts, is also on it. And Karen, I think, would admit that she's more of a establishment or mainstream Democrat. Like, she's one of the people, when I say Nina Turner, she is repelled by it. Okay, and so
Do you know who Nina Turner is? She's a lady that tried to run for Congress in California. She outraced her opponent 2-1, lost, and then blamed the Jews on it. Very good progressive candidate.
She's probably right. We did do that.
Yeah, very good progressive candidate there. I might be hyperbolizing slightly, but not much. I encourage everybody to go look into the details of that. If you think I'm lying, okay, I would show you on stream right now if I was on my home computer, but I don't have it all right now. But like, yikes! Whoa, Lake Toya VA, thank you for subbing, bro.
we don't have to hate each other, etc. And Karen's, of course, an African American woman, and so we got difference of opinion, but she, of course, she's deeply concerned about racism. I'm deeply concerned about racism, and in the midst of that conversation that we were having, I said, "But wait a minute, guys, you can't attribute the whole MAGA thing to racism because, and this is true, you could look it up. Obama, after he won his first election." His poll
Wow, thanks for gifting 5 memberships.
numbers, which it feels impossible to believe at this point, was at a stunning 83% approval. 83%.
That's in like 5 minutes.
So
Or less.
obviously, a giant chunk of Republicans and independents who had got
What?
past the racism enough to say, I really.
She ran in Ohio? Wait, am I mixing her up with somebody else? Oh, she might have run in Ohio. I'm sorry. Oh no, she did run in Ohio. I'm sorry, not California. My bad. I feel like every bad thing about progressives comes from California. That's not true. my mistake.
Really like Barack Obama. Okay, so now, but is that the whole story? No, of course not. I mean, look at the example that I gave there. Did Trump say we should stop all Muslims from coming into the country? He did. Did the Republican voters love it? They did. So both of those things are true, and that's why it's complicated. So, and now you go to the next layer of it. And by the way, as we see, and did they march in Charlottesville saying the Jews will not replace us? They did. Was that the majority of Republicans? No, right? But was there enough of them to cause a lot of trouble throughout the country? Yes. You see, all of these things are true at the same time, right? So,
does anyone else find it really interesting that the Young Turks is even having this kind of discourse being broadcasted? Why do you think Cenk plays along, given how extremist ideas and feelings are? I don't think Cenk is playing along. I feel like the Young Turks do try to get it right. Like,
Who else said the Jews won't replace us?
who? Stop. Stop. Cenk literally said he did this in your convo with him. Sometimes I ham it up for the broadcast. Yeah, that was dumb. But yeah, no, I think Cenk legitimately tries to get it right. He might ham it up a little bit. But I think he wants to be. Yeah, I think he wants to be. Like, I think he made a good argument that when that one trans broadcaster left their org a while ago because they think Anna is transphobic or something now. I mean, he said they have people on their network that they disagree with. I think he tries to get it right. I give him the benefit of the doubt for now, although it does seem to be the case that every single person in my life I've given the benefit of the doubt to ends up being a snake or a backstabber or worse. So, but, well, hopefully, well, hey, listen, that's life sometimes, okay? Jake just playing good cop to Anna's bad cop to hold on to what little remaining socialist viewers they have left. Cringe. I don't think that's true. Did you see the Meta stock news today?
I appreciate that, Destiny.
All right, bye. Remember to hit that like and subscribe, and don't forget the notification bell so that my videos show up right in your feed.